So today I would like to look at our relationship with the scripture, and I just want to see what does the scripture mean to us, or what is it supposed to mean to us? Because I see that we have taken our authority, our power, the power that is supposed to be ours, and we have given it to scripture. So whatever scripture you ascribe to, whether it's the Bible or the Quran or whatever scripture you you read, and we have taken the power, the authority that is supposed to be ours, that should be ours, and we have given this power and this authority to scripture, and we have elevated the scripture. We have put scripture in a place where it seems to be above us. It seems to be the one that dictates almost every one of our action, and even sometimes our thoughts. So, and what relationship should we have with the scripture? Is the scripture this thing that is supposed to be the authority over us? And I would like to say that we are the authority over the scripture. It should not be the other way around. It should not be the authority over us. Scripture was written by man. It was written by us. Okay? It's not something that dropped from some mysterious heaven. It is not something that dropped directly from God, like the way we think that this thing was directly written or dictated by God. Scripture was written by man. And then man, after writing scripture, he turns around and gives so much authority to this scripture, something that he wrote himself. Okay, and we find that it is the nature of man to just take their power and their authority and give it to things that is outside of himself. One such thing is money. We create money, we invent money, and then we take all the power that is supposed to be ours and we give it to money. And then now we start saying that money is equal to power. Then the one that has more money has more power, and the one that has less money, or the one that does not have money, is weak. But that is wrong to say that, because power is never in anything outside of our being, outside of ourselves. Outside of ourselves, there's nothing, there's no power. All things is within us, whether it's power and authority and wealth and peace and joy. We can never ever find it in any other thing. And in the same way, we can never ever find any power and any authority and any life in the scripture. Because scripture, when we are looking to the scripture for these things, we are looking outside of ourselves. When we are looking to the scripture for instruction and for life and for salvation, we are looking outside of ourselves. And by looking outside of our own selves, of our own being, we are never ever going to find anything there. All things is within. The way to find heaven is within. Heaven can never ever be found without. Okay? So the way to heaven is within. It is never without. It is never in anything outside. The way of peace and joy and satisfaction and abundance and authority and power is within. It can never be found in anything without. So scripture should not hold this place that we have given to it, because scripture is something that is without. First of all, it is without. And secondly, scripture is written by man. Okay? So we find that it is a creation of man, and then man turns around and makes it into this God, this idol that man worships. Okay? If anything, man should dictate what scripture says, because it is written by man. Man forgets that he is the final authority in this realm. Man is the express image of God. Man is God in this physical form. And how can God turn around and then be dictated by something physical, something like a Bible or like money or like any physical thing? Because I am God in physical expression. I am God in this physical form. I am not weak. I am not lacking. I am not diminished in any way. I am the fullness of God in this form. So when God is looking to something as weak as scripture to tell him what he needs to do to dictate his life, to try to get life from it, then God is lowering itself. Okay, so man, we must understand that scripture was written by man. Okay, this is something that is created by man. Okay, and then it should not be something that we are drawing our lives from. Scripture draws life from us. Okay, scripture exists because we gave it life, because we wrote it down. We do not draw any life from scripture. Scripture serves only the little purposes. Okay, but it never ever gives anybody life. So to think that I can draw any life from any book is to make that book into an idol. And when I make anything in an idol, I am failing to recognize, to know, to what I am and the power I have. I am giving my power away to something that is external. I am giving myself away. I am taking my power and my authority and giving it away. Okay? So we must know that we are the ultimate authority and the power. And I am the one that wrote the scripture. The scripture did not create me. I created the Bible. I created the Quran. The Quran and the Bible did not create me. They are not the authority that is above me. I am the authority that is above them. Okay. I am the authority. I am the life. I am the way. I am the truth. And I have the authority to correct, to rewrite, and even to discard, to throw it all away. To throw away the scripture, to correct the scripture, to leave it alone and decide that I'm never going to read it again.